Seth Rollins is a Hall of Famer, which is kind of crazy because he's nowhere near retirement, but if I had to put him in tomorrow, I would kick his tush right in there, because that dude is fantastic and he's all time. Given he has been on the big stage for over a decade though, I think sometimes he goes a little bit misunderstood, especially when it comes to his genius. Why? Here's why. And I just headbutted my own hand, so I am definitely not one of these. Let's go back to just before WrestleMania 39, when Seth Rollins walked out in front of a crowd and had a full attendance going, whoa, 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 and just singing his song. Now again, even though he's been around for a minute, just look into his eyes, and you could see he was a little bit taken aback by this, as you would be. I'm pretty sure Rollins could have stood there for a week and enjoyed it, as once again the fans went, well, we're not going to do it again. And I actually think this comes down to the fact that he has been smashing it for such a long time, and usually what happens between the WWE universe and pro wrestler is that you kind of form this bond, where it's like, we know that you're flippin' fantastic, and now we're gonna show you. If you want to break it right down, I suppose you could call Rollins the gatekeeper of WWE, even when it did go a little bit awry. You may remember some tweets he did back in 2019, when he was just trying to protect the company, but very sadly this was really misconstrued, and he kind of came off like a little bit of an aggressive ally. And I do get it too, it's like he bleeds WWE, and at that point he had just been so damn consistent, and yet he wasn't really clicking in the way we just described, so I guess he just got frustrated. Look, he's just a human being, he's just a man, that happens. I mean, it's a lot like a sports team when they are struggling too. As long as you can see that every single player on that pitch is giving you everything, you kind of give them a free pass. And seriously, go through every single one of Seth Rollins' matches and find me one where he just phones it in. It doesn't exist, because this man cares like crazy, which is why here and there, he will step over the line a little bit. And even when he hit that low patch with Bray Wyatt, and you are absolutely allowed to facepalm about this, and so with Seth, what did he do? He went back to the drawing board, he reinvented himself, and he's like, okay, I'm in the ditch right now, but let's start climbing up that ladder and get back to where I need to be. So you gotta have some respect for that, even though it did see Seth become this Joker type character, wear whatever the flub he wanted, and do this a lot. Now, I still don't really understand the laugh, but once again, it's classic sport entertainment. After a while, I just start to dig it. It also leads us to the pandemic era when Vince McMahon said, hello Seth Rollins, hello Rey Mysterio, do I have a storyline for you? Because Seth, you are going to rip the eye of Rey Mysterio out of his head, and then you're gonna kind of freak out a bit. But do you know what Rollins did in this situation? He went out there and he did the damn best he could. Because sometimes you just have to listen to your employer. That's why I just want to give him a round of applause. I mean, even during those funeral-like shows when there was no noise, he still did that WrestleMania and probably had the best match against Kevin Owens, and he did this with Drew McIntyre, and he did it with Aleister Black, because again, if you search in his guts, you would find pro wrestling. And yes, that's the worst thing I'm going to say during this video. He was also the man tasked with having Dominic Mysterio's first match at SummerSlam, and look how that guy has developed and evolved over the last few years. And do you remember when we finally started to push Cesaro? Where did it start? It started with Seth frickin' Rollins. Now I understand I'm pushing the boat out a little bit here, but that's what I'm trying to get across to you. He really hasn't done any wrong. From that Hell in a Cell match, I don't want to talk about it anymore. It also happened once more with Edge when they had that awesome Hell in a Cell scrap. And do not forget everything before WrestleMania 38 with Kevin Owens. That was just a joy. Those two being like, I don't like you, but I don't like you either, but let's be friends anyway. That's my favorite type of wrestling. Goofy wrestling for life. You could see all this coming to fruition when he was chosen to be the guy to welcome back Cody Rhodes. And not only did he do it once, he did it thrice. And during that third match in a Hell in a Cell, he had to work with Cody, who had that pectoral that looks like some kind of a puddle. But did he even hurt the American Nightmare? No, he did not. And that to me is an absolute mystery. That should be a puzzle in a Professor Layton game. I don't understand how you can do that, but where did the trust lie? I'm not going to tell you because you can figure it out for yourself. He also lost all of these as well, but how did he respond to this? He just kept having amazing matches time after time. So I can only imagine he had listened to a Cyndi Lauper song and gone, huh, there's something in these lyrics, I better do it. The true joy of all of this is that he is massively durable. Like, taking a few injuries aside, he's always basically at the tippy top of the card, and when his music does hit, he always gets superstar reactions. So if I was going to start a promotion tomorrow, this would be the type of individual I would want, because again, he has engagement, and all those other silly 2023 words. We can even keep this going in a post-Vince McMahon era, because Triple H said to him, listen pal, I need you to get Matt Riddle more over, which he did. And while I would imagine a world title run in is his future, I don't actually think he needs belts anymore. So he's a lot like The Undertaker. Seth Rollins is enough. His character is enough, and his matches are enough. Now, I know for a fact that Seth would like this, and he wants to main event WrestleMania properly, and he deserves all those plaudits, but even if he never gets them, he's already smashed it. He's already got to the top of the well, and somehow he's going to keep flying higher. Maybe more important than all of this too, is that be it inside the ring or outside the ring, all of a sudden Seth just seems a lot more comfortable in his own skin. Because he knows who he is, and he knows what he's bringing to the table, and not only has he earned that, but he's also earned the people's love. While that sounds like a really, really bad poem, I absolutely do think it's the case. It's why when now we do look back at the Shield experiment, we have to go, well, bravo everyone, because that worked like a charm. Because Roman Reigns obviously is a massive asset to WWE. Jon Moxley, what would AEW be without him? Once again, under the same damn banner of WWE, Seth Rollins is absolutely integral too. And do you not think that everybody isn't going to use this to their advantage? Of course they are. Seth Rollins has most definitely arrived. And now you should push that as much as you can. You can even shift it up a gear when we do eventually go back to the Cody Rhodes feud. Maybe at that point the American Nightmare is the champion, and that's when you pull the trigger. Seth's eyes go and he finally defeats Cody to become the champ. Then all of a sudden, my word, you're gonna blow people's brains. I mean, the fact that he will also do this while likely dressed as a Picasso painting, well, that's just on the icing on the cake. And it reminds us of that golden wrestling rule. There are no rules. Nor should there be. So I think the misunderstood part just comes from the fact that maybe, just maybe, and I don't want to be that guy, that we do take Seth Rollins for granted a little bit. I mean, if we go back to WrestleMania 39, he was paired with Logan Paul, a dude who was only having his third wrestling match, and they arguably put on the best match of the weekend. And I don't understand how that's possible. Don't go into the comments going, yes, Simon, but Logan Paul isn't on the road every single day, so he got to practice. As I've told you before, I'm a wrestler, I've practiced matches, and have I ever come up with anything as good as that? As much as it shames me to say, no. No, I haven't. And a huge part of this has to go down to the opponent, which is why when we were in Saudi Arabia, Roman Reigns stepped up to the plate, and the next person on that list was Seth Rollins. Now, the rumor for ages was that it was going to be Logan Paul versus John Cena, which we may be doing at SummerSlam 2023, but you won't get the same type of contest, because what Seth brings to the wrestling landscape is just athleticism and storytelling, and he does weird things all the time as well. He was having a fight the other day, and then he just started conducting the audience. And if you would like a challenge today, go out and try and explain that to someone that doesn't watch wrestling. It doesn't make any sense. They would have been singing regardless. So essentially, I just wanted to give him his flowers, especially because he is only 36 years old. And it doesn't feel like he wants to be an actor or use WWE as a platform to go anything else. He just wants to be the best damn sports entertainer he can be. So when we get to 40, I actually think we could be looking at a John Cena situation here, where all of a sudden you look back over his career and go, hot damn, this guy is absolute gold. Maybe I should find him and give him a kiss and a hug. It's why eventually he should get that WrestleMania main event properly, and I know everyone always goes, well, he had it at WrestleMania 31, but I do understand that was a cash-in, and Seth himself only found out on the day. But if we are talking about things people deserve, well, I don't think you can debate this one. I don't think there's an argument at some point we should put him in that spot. He gets it though, ultimately, and the fact that he was able to arrive here after everything that did happen a few years ago, well, that to me is just proof in the pudding. So in case you haven't garnered what I have been saying in this video, I think Seth Rollins is flubbing amazing, and we should probably shout about this more. Hence why I made this video, so I can shout. Now please do leave a comment below and let me know what you think about Seth Rollins, and you're allowed to be honest here, but be nice. Remember, he is a human being. Before you like the video, share the video, and of course go and caress that subscribe button. Also, if you'd like to read articles like this, we do have a website. It's called whatculture.com. We have other videos, one which may be on the screen right now, so give it a click, and we're on social media. You can find us at whatculture.WWE, and this bored idiot is at Simon Miller 316. Damn it. My name is Simon for What Culture. This was the Why series, where we essentially just present a topic and debate it like it's an editorial. But this one, I absolutely mean. I kind of started to think this after WrestleMania 39. Seth Rollins just doesn't put a foot wrong. And given that I am a professional wrestler, in my other life, I kind of look up to him, and I kind of respect him, and I'm kind of inspired by him. Even though I'm never going to be able to do the things that he does do, although I could dress like him. Do you remember when he came out at Mania and he had that weird red coat and that pink thing on that kind of looked like something Jeff Jarrett used to wear? It's the greatest thing that ever happened in my life. And in fact, right now, I'm going to go order some weird wrestling gear. So thank you, Seth. You've certainly had an impact on me. Keep smashing it. See you soon.